Hey Data Jackets, it's me Vidal Mendez, your student assistant for engagement here for the MSA program at Georgia Tech, and welcome back to another episode of MSA Alumni Spotlight Series. Today I'm here joined with Shannon, and thank you so much for taking the time to be part of this interview.
Yeah, happy to. Always happy to help MSA students, Georgia Tech students, so good to be in town.
Awesome. All right, Shannon, so if you could tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so I graduated from Georgia Tech with my undergrad, actually, first in 2015. I did a Bachelor's of Science in International Affairs and Modern Languages with a concentration in German and a minor in economics. I'm originally from Philadelphia. I've been told you can kind of hear that a lot when I chat. But I kind of caught the bug for programming and statistics when I did my economics minor. And I realized that data wasn't always the strongest force in the room, but that's how you make better policy and how you can actually help people the most. And that's very core to the jobs that I take now as well, is what does this product do to make the world a better place? So from 2015, I pivoted into marketing analytics, worked at Home Depot for a while, worked at Koch Industries for a little bit. I started my Master's of Science and Analytics here with a concentration in analytical tools in fall 2017. Did the program part-time at first, commuting down actually from Kennesaw pre-COVID, and then ended up finishing the program more than full-time with my last classes taken on campus in fall 2018. So I took 6 classes my last term, which was a lot, I'll put it that way. And then I moved to Germany in January 2019, did my practicum, 6-credit practicum in Germany in 2019, and officially graduated in May 2019. And I've been living in Germany, Frankfurt am Main, ever since.
Well, sounds like it's been a roller coaster of a journey, but we're here today.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to our first question. So you've lived in the U.S., now you live in Europe. So where are you based at now, and what is your most current role?
So I currently live in Frankfurt am Main in Germany. Easy to fly into if anybody feels like moving that way. And my most recent role was as head of innovation for a German deep tech startup.
Just to get a little bit more sentimental, thinking back to your time in the MSA program, what has been one of your favorite memories? That could be anything from a project, a class, or even a memory with some friends.
So it was when Liz Stanford and I were in the computer lab in ISYE, and Dakota Hustler came over, and he goes, "Sorry, my mom was a bit late dropping me off. Yes, I called her into town because I have a 6242 homework." And he was a little embarrassed. He was expecting Liz and I to kind of judge or something, and Liz goes, "Shannon had her mom fly in for 2 weeks last year." So my mom actually flew down for 2 weeks. She worked remotely to help me walk the dog, cook a couple meals, and help me out while I was working full-time and doing the program part-time. So
That's awesome. It's really cool. So moving on to our 5th question. You've been deeply technical and also very business focused. What advice would you give current MSA students that want to bridge those two worlds together?
Be patient and know your audience. You guys are experts in both of those fields and in speaking to both of those types of people. Usually, when you're speaking with the techies, they're not going to be as good as you at speaking with the business. You need to be patient with them and patient with the business as you make that translation. And by the same token, the business folks, they're not as technical as you. You need to be patient when you make that translation as well. They're not going to understand a serving versus a retraining pipeline, for example. For them, it's just a machine learning model in a box. So be patient, use the right terminology for each room.
And I think that's a good point as well, just like the idea of adaptability and also being flexible with other individuals and who you work with. I think, being able to understand how people function and people's strengths and weaknesses can really benefit the overall relationship and the impact you're going to make.
You want differences of opinion. You want people in the room asking questions. That's how you catch bugs and issues before they make it to production. As the engineer, it's our responsibility to come up with solutions to those questions and to those problems. But also as the business stakeholder, you've got to be asking and making sure that the engineers have thought about those edge cases. And that's also part of the fun.
Thank you so much for that advice in regards to helping MSA students bridge those two worlds together. And just moving forward to our last and final question of the interview. Looking back, was there a particular class, a project from the MSA program that really had a big impact within your career?
So one of my favorites was reliability engineering. What I learned there was how to think about building a stable, scalable system. you're not going to build the world's greatest system in the first 2 weeks or the first 2 months or necessarily the first 2 years. So what you need to build is something that runs and something that when it breaks, you know, and you have a good estimation of when it will break. We looked mostly at physical systems, but it translates very well to thinking about software and machine learning systems as well. And bringing that framework again to, when you think about speaking with different audiences, tech and business, that framework of it's reliable, it's not perfect, but it's reliable and it scales has proven extremely effective.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Shannon, for joining us in the most recent episode of MSA Alumni Spotlight Series. And if there's anything else you want to share with our MSA audience, feel free to.
Thanks for having me. It was great to chat here with you, Vidal. And if anybody has questions about careers in Europe, hit me up. The team's got my contact info.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.